everyone, welcome to Eden's Secret. So today we're making some gold soap balls. I've had some of my soap. This is just my usual recipe wrapped up in some cling film. You could put it, you could put it in a bag or what, a plastic bag or whatever. I've just chopped some off the end. And then what I'm doing is I'm getting my knife and I'm just scraping some of the soap off there into flakes. Pop it on my weighing scales because I want every ball to be the same size. So each one of these balls is 6 grams. Now when you scrape the soap off the block like that, it seems to be much easier and more pliable and quicker to roll it into a ball. I've done it in cubes, but this way works a lot better for me. And that's the only way you can get every ball to be identical size wise. Now the last video I made about soap balls is my most viewed video, and that then is when I used to make it with a melon baller. Now for some, oh that's why the weight was going up then, it's because I was touching. Of course, if you don't want all the balls to be identical, then you don't need to weigh them. So I'm going to continue like this until I have 30 balls, because I'm going to make some Christmas tree cupcakes with them. And if you've seen the thumbnail, then you'll realise that these balls are the topping. So in this container here, we've got some gold glitter. So all you need to do, there's a teaspoonful of glitter in there. Just throw your balls in there. Spin it around like this. And then all of your balls will be perfectly coated in beautiful gold glitter, ready to pop on top of your soap. So I'm not going to bore you with showing you making every little ball, but I just wanted to show you how I did it. So here we are, we have the balls all made up there in the tub, and it's better to do this while they're still a little bit moist on the outside. So I'm just going to take a good teaspoonful of this gorgeous gold glitter. I think it's from You Make It Up, this one. I didn't get this from Glitter Express, but I do love it. It's just so sparkling and gorgeous, and a true gold as well. So just sprinkle it over like that, and then as before, just keep tossing them. You can put the lid on if you want to. and you'll see they'll all be beautifully coated in there. And these are going to be the decorations on the top of our Christmas trees. I'm not going to put the spoon in. I was going to put the spoon in and try and get the glitter up there, but I might dint the balls and I don't want to do that. So just making sure they're all perfectly coated, and most of them are. This one looks, there's a bit of orange showing through on a couple of them. I think that'll do. So I haven't got much of the gold glitter left. I'm going to be needing to order some more of that soon. I've noticed though that with your glitters and micas, although it's usually about £38 for 500 grams, by the time the VAT's added and the shipping's added, which is often £10, you're looking at nearly £60 for a lot. But if you can buy in bulk and buy a few at a time, then it'll save you that shipping cost. Right, so we've got our moulds ready laid out here. And we're going to mix up some soap. I'm going to pour 1.1 kilos into this jug. I don't like to put too much in the jug because if you fill it right to the top, it's just really hard to pour out of there. So I'm going to use, instead of the water soluble, I'm using the non-water soluble red, which is CI124090. Yes, 124090. I'm not that keen on this. You seem to have to put quite a lot in to make a red, and it doesn't maybe, I don't know, maybe I should have mixed it in some oil first. It's just, I never do that. I always just mix it straight into my soap batter. So maybe that's what I'm doing wrong. But yeah, it seems like you've got to mix it for ages because it doesn't dissolve brilliantly. And we are using this one, Autumn Magic, which is a fabulous, gorgeous fragrance from Nature's Garden. It's one I've kept a secret for years and years, and it's the one where I've called the product Cinema. So we're just putting 50 mils into there. I'm just being a bit more generous with my fragrance these days. Yeah, so I've always kept it a secret because I love it so much. So we'll just pour these into the bases. and then leave those to set up, ready to pipe on. So it's a little bit short on this one, so I'm going to put a little bit more than 1.1 kilos in. I'm going to put 1.2 kilos in to the next pour to make sure that all of those moulds are full. So once this colour's gone, I won't be buying any more of it. So it's really quite dense, this batch, for some reason, and usually when I put 1 teaspoonful in, it just makes it into like a very dark pink rather than a red. And obviously because it's a Christmas soap, and I don't know, look at that, I've miscounted them. I can't have. 3 fours are 12, 3 fours are 12, 1, 2, 1, 2. So I've ended up with too much red, so what I'll do is pour that into these, and then they can probably go as free samples into people's orders. Right. So while they're setting up, I'll be washing up these dishes, the jug and everything, ready for the next colour, which is white. Okay, so I've made up some white and it's fairly loose, and we're going to fill up the piping bag now with that. It's not as stiff as I would have it if I was piping, say, with a star nozzle, because I'm actually piping with a small round nozzle. And you notice I'm not lifting the bag up, because if I do, this soap will pour out of the nozzle, and I don't want it to do that. So I'm just squeezing it down. I'll show you the nozzle in a second. I don't know where it's from because it hasn't got a number or anything on it, this nozzle. But there you go. It's a small, I would say it's a medium round actually. And what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to pipe dots all the way around the outside. Now because I made too much of the red, I've actually got far too many cases now with Soapy in, so this batch won't finish all of these, so I'm just going to make as many as I can and then we'll have some left over. But the next time I make some soap, I'll pipe the Christmas tree part on there, but I'm hoping the white I've got here will actually do all of these. So as you can see, I'm just going around the outside like so. Actually, it seems better if you keep the bag at an angle. Okay, thank you.
I'll see one of them tonight, not me.
Yeah.
Did you know I got in touch with his electrician?
Yeah, before I went to bed he said he's coming on Friday, so
Yes.
that's good.
Friday
Yeah.
and then again on Monday.
Yeah.
So,
No, that'll be great.
So hopefully
spot on that
We
one.
might have a sitting room for Christmas.
we'll get, when he gets the plastering done, we can come and have a wash down and paint to the, have you got paint for the walls, for the walls? Are you going to do it the same as kitchen?
No, we haven't. We've got some, but yeah, we are just doing it the same as the kitchen.
Because you'll have to take it in and, well, if you just put a bit
Yeah.
of paper, they can scan it, can't they?
Yeah, but he's got our details
Oh,
there
right.
at B&Q,
So if you want
so
some more.
yeah.
Oh, that's alright, because it shouldn't take that much. Did you say
No,
half
I
is
mean
left?
there's half a tin left off the kitchen, so
Yeah, so another
2.5 litres maybe.
I would think.
Yeah.
Yeah, just depends how much you've got left in that, but one coat should do, shouldn't it?
Have you any idea how many?
I think it'll
any
need
idea
Two coats.
Yeah.
how many did take for kitchen?
What,
Did
quarts?
you just get
How
two?
much paint?
Two of the grey.
You got-
Well,
did you
maybe
get two
2.5 litres. Yeah.
Did you get two and a halves?
No, we bought a 5 litre.
Oh, right.
Uh,
Oh, well.
I think.
Yeah.
I was thinking 2.5 litres will be enough for the living room.
No,
Yeah, I
that's
think
all
it
we've
will.
left.
Aye,
Yeah,
yeah.
have to work out. Then we'll get washed down after he's been, and then get that done, and then decorator can come in and paper.
Yeah.
Following week, and then carpets coming. That's 17th.
20th.
20th.
Yeah, but he was going to ask decorator to come on 17th, which is
The decorator.
a fortnight, a week on Monday.
Yeah.
So hopefully get that done in a day and a half at most, and then.
Is all he doing is papering?
I
Yes.
think so.
But you'll have to provide the paste, won't you?
Oh, yeah.
You just provide this, but he does everything else, brushes and stuff, and
Yeah.
yeah. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
See you later.
Yeah.
That's John's mum and dad. They're very helpful with us. We wanted to just redecorate the sitting room, give it a lick of paint and put some wallpaper on. And typically the sitting room is the only room that hasn't really had any major work done in there. And because it's an old house, it's just a single wall. The outside wall, the brick wall underneath the plaster was soaking wet, so the plaster was just falling off basically. So we had to, it's now turned into an absolute major job, because we painted the kitchen and that we thought we'll get the kitchen sorted and then we'll do the sitting room. So all the kitchen was done, everything, all the cupboards were rubbed down, cleaned properly. It was looking absolutely perfect. And then this job in the sitting room has turned into an unbelievable dilemma. So all the plasters had to be pulled off, and it's gone right back down to the brickwork. So now we even had to put a new window in. So now we're putting a frame back up to put the plasterboard onto. So we need a plasterboard, we need an electrician, we need someone to skim it, and we are actually getting a guy in just to do the wallpaper, but we'll paint it. So it's all going to take us right up to the last second before Christmas, because the carpet's getting fitted on the 20th of December, 5 days before Christmas. I was so excited to get my little sitting room done. I mean, nothing special at all, literally just a redecorate, so I could put my trees and my decorations up. So now it's all just going to be a massive rush job. This sofa is in the kitchen at the moment. We've got a sofa, 2 sofas in our bedroom, and then chairs all over the place. It's just a nightmare. And whilst all this work that we've done, it's never bothered me, it's never got me down, and I wouldn't say I'm down about it, but I am sick of it now. I'm absolutely sick of it. I just want a tidy house that's finished and livable. But we're far off that, because of course the upstairs still isn't done. And all of this takes time and money. Well, like I said before, we've never been rich. We've never had plenty of money. You just work, and what little spare you have left over, you do a bit with, and it just continues on like that. So that gave me something to talk about while I was doing all these cute little blobs on the soaps. So there you see what they look like. And now for the Christmas tree part. Okay, so what I've got left in the pot, I've added some of that beautiful fluorescent green that I get. Link to that is in the description below. As you can see, it's thickening up nicely. And I've got a nice gentle star mould on there. that's the green mica there that I use. So I'm just going to load up my bag. And then I'm going to pipe onto here. This makes the Christmas tree effect. And I still want to show those lovely white blobs we've got on the bottom. And then of course we'll have to decorate with those gorgeous gold balls that we made earlier. And I'm also going to put some sprinkles on here, which I'm going to hand place, which is very time consuming, but it really does make a big difference if you get the decorations in the perfect position. More soap in the bag. You know, notice we started off with the soap batter rather loose, but not as loose as we did for the white blobs, and that's because this has a medium trace, what I would call a medium trace, the fragrance, and I don't want this soap to get too hard and stiff, because you don't end up with a smooth finish, you end up with a rough cracked finish, and I find it quite unsightly, even though I've done it a million times myself before. I'm always trying to make them better and better. We're actually doing quite well to get most of these piped with the green. I mean, will we be lucky and get them all done? I doubt it, but I don't know. There's still quite a bit left in this jug. Oh, I don't know if I've remembered to tell you this. I've been meaning to tell you for ages. And I hate going on about my ailments, but I know a lot of you cared enough to help me with my plantar fasciitis or fascia, or however you pronounce it. Many of you suggested things, and I got the insoles and they are working brilliantly. My heels aren't healed yet. I went to the podiatrist and basically the sole of my foot on both sides has collapsed. And because that happens, what happens is the tendon gets really tight, and because you're walking on it all the time, it becomes inflamed and torn, and the pain is unbelievable. So I just want to thank everyone that suggested the insoles and the training shoes. That's what we call them in the UK. I think you call them joggers in the States. But honestly, what a fantastic difference it's made, and to be in less pain is absolutely marvellous. So thank you to everybody that was kind enough to help me out with that one. Your suggestions worked brilliantly. And also putting the oils on there that take down the inflammation, that's helped as well. So I can kind of stand it now. Before, it's so excruciating the pain that you can't stand it, but it's just not as painful at all as it was. Right, so how cute do they look so far? Well, let me tell you, they're going to look even cuter when I do this. So we're going to take those gorgeous gold balls. Look at that. And we're going to pop them on the top. And it's like your treetop decoration. Bit of a tongue twister, that. Treetop decoration. Instead of a star, it looks much, I mean, the last ones I made a star, but these gold balls look so much better than the star. And they are quite big, these balls, but I quite like that. I do like big balls, you know. Says the big prude. I'm the world's biggest prude, I think. But the only reason I'm mentioning that is because the last video I did, which is my most viewed video about making soap balls, there's loads of innuendo comments on that video, and they really are quite hilarious. I'm sure some people might have been trying to be mean. Most weren't, of course, but even those mean ones I thought were funny. Well, I can't believe we ended up with enough topping, and that must be because we did this white piping around the outside. So instead of having to pipe the green all the way to the edge, it's piped in the middle, in the centre. So that must be what has saved us some soap. So it's just as well I didn't mix up any more. Right, so now is the time for the delicate detail. Now, if you wanted to, you could literally just sprinkle your decorations on there, but I'm not going to. I'm going to gently place them. So we've got some holly and berry sprinkles here. I think they're from Sainsbury's. And just tip those out onto the work surface. And I've also got some snowflakes. Again, they're from Sainsbury's. Sprinkle those onto the worktop. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take our product soaps like this, and we're going to place the decorations perfectly. Very time consuming, but very worth it. And just squeezing them into the soap slightly will make them stay in position without falling off all over the place, which is usually what happens. And I'm not going to bore you with the decorating every single one of these, but I'll show you what they look like once they're all done. Did I mention that I've got a pair of tweezers just to pick everything up? And don't press them in too hard because you'll spoil the design. Now, if you wanted to be really intricate, you could go around and put a decoration on each one of those. And now I've started that, I'm going to have to finish that on all of them. I'm just making sure there are decorations all the way around there. So you will need to make sure that the base is nice and hard before you continue, so you can pick them up like this. But if you've got a medium trace fragrance, then that's going to work out perfectly, because by the time you pipe the top, the bottom will already be set. I mean, I wouldn't even suggest piping onto the top until the bottoms are set anyway, which, depending on your fragrance, can take. And so here we have our perfectly baubled Christmas tree cupcake soaps. It took me probably 2 hours to put all these little decorations on and press them in so that they stay on there. But it's worth it. I mean, I couldn't do it all year round, faffing on like that, but when it's Christmas I like to make a bit of extra effort and make them look even better. So I hope you like those, everyone. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you all very, very soon. Lots of blessings to you. Bye bye for now.